You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts now.
Well, guys, that's a wrap. That is a wrap on the Woke Sports show Around the Horn. Now, earlier this summer, I put out a video talking about ESPN possibly actually canceling this show. And folks, not only are we making America great again, but Woke Sports seems to be dead. Because it is official, folks. ESPN now is canceling the Woke show Around the Horn in just over 6 months. It is a wrap, folks. Thank God, man. Now, when this show first came out with Matt Kellerman way back in 2002, can you guys believe it's been 22 years? I used to love this show. It was a lot of fun. Jay Mariotti, Woody Page on there, Matt Kellerman hosting before Matt Kellerman really lost his mind. It was a fun show. It was about sports. But eventually, man, ESPN and Around the Horn, they lost their marbles. They went full on left-wing political. I mean, this show talked so much about race and everything like that. Jamel Hill was on this show too. It was a disaster, folks. A disaster. And I'm so happy now that this show is going away. Maybe, just maybe, man, ESPN can actually right their ship. Now, of course, ESPN, their parent company is the Walt Disney Company. And the Walt Disney Company seems to be trying to turn a corner as they canceled a episode on a children's program about a transgender volleyball player. Yeah, why in the world was that going to be in a kid's show anyway? But I digress. It's over, guys. So let's look at this here. It says ESPN's happy hour lineup will look a bit different come next summer. According to Ryan Glassspiegel of the New York Post, Around the Horn's 23-year run at ESPN will come to an end. The Post reported in July that the show was in trouble. The show, which launched in 2002, but really began to take shape in 2004 when Tony Reali replaced Matt Kellerman as host, has been a staple of ESPN's 5 p.m. Eastern Time slot over the past 2 decades. Many legendary panelists, from Woody Page to Jackie McMullen to J.A. Adonde, he's woke, turned the show into the blockbuster it is today. This show's not a blockbuster anymore. Because, folks, if this show was still a blockbuster, it wouldn't be canceled probably. Yeah. And this show, man, needed to end. When 2020 came around, man, the whole BLM thing, now ESPN as a whole was already pretty woke. Remember, they actually gave Jamel Hill and Michael Smith the Sports Center at 6, which was nothing more than Donald Trump bashing. That was pretty much it. It was about social justice and all this other stuff. Yeah, it is crazy, man. Now, they don't exactly know the exact time the show is going to go away, but this show's dead, man. It is dead. So if you guys remember, man, just in case you guys need a refresher, this is them talking about the Beijing Olympics. And J.A. Adonde pretty much wants to ignore, the human rights violations of the Chinese Communist Party over there. Remember, they actually have slaves over there, Uyghur Muslims. Listen in, guys, so you can have a refresher here.
With genocide and human rights violations in the Tibet region and against Uyghurs in China, the International Olympic Committee chose Beijing while stating it is committed to human rights. Today's opening ceremony, which again you will see tonight, featured a lighting of the torch by 2 members of the Chinese Olympic team, one of which is Uyghur. J.A. Adonde, as a fan and then as a reporter, how do you reconcile enjoying this competition while also considering everything I just said?
I think it's standard in sports right now. You have to have a cognitive dissonance. You need to compartmentalize. We've never had a more enjoyable NFL playoffs in this country, and we've never had more people watching the playoffs, and yet it goes on amid the ongoing allegations against Dan Snyder, owner of the Washington football team, and the continuous concussion concerns, and now the concerns about diversity and the allegations and the questions about competitive integrity, even all of that, and yet we're still enjoying the games. And who are we to criticize China's human rights records when we have ongoing attacks by the agents of the state against unarmed citizens, and we've got assaults on the voting rights of our people of color in various states in this country? So sports, I think it is possible, and it's necessary more than ever to just shut everything out if you are to enjoy the actual games themselves.
Wow. This is what we were dealing with, folks, on Around the Horn. J.A. Adonde. He's probably talking about, the Georgia reforms and voting over there, when actually more people were able to vote. Yeah, more people were able to vote. But remember, the Major League Baseball All-Star game was removed from Georgia because of their voting laws. Yeah, cracking down, on voter integrity. And yet and still, when the integrity was put in place, more people were able to vote. Kind of funny how that works, right? Let's go on.
I appreciate everything you just said there. You have covered 5 Olympic Games, if I have that right, J.A.? Just to follow up here, specifically on China here. We're talking about human rights violations. We're talking about genocide. And the IOC chose China, specifically said, yes, we will go there, while maintaining they are for human rights and things of that nature, and that sports can conquer that. How do you view it?
Well, again, where can you choose that's free? And look at some of the other recent hosts of the games, including Russia and some other recent plays. It's very hard to find a country that isn't problematic when it comes to human rights, including here. Remember, we had athletes boycott going to Mexico City because of the human rights issues in the United States in 1968, most notably Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. I think we can bring attention to it. I think it's notable that we did have a Uyghur participant lighting the torch, and hopefully this will be used to bring attention to it rather than to continue to place these
Woody
issues.
Page, if I could bring you.
Wow. We actually don't lock up our own people, Jay Adonde. We don't. Also, how about this one right here? Sarah Spain. Now, this is from 2022, and Clay Travis put this out. Says ESPN Sarah Spain said on air that Tampa Bay Rays players who don't want to wear a pride flag are bigoted and using BS religion. Yeah, attacking Christians. Imagine turning on sports and getting this loony left-wing insanity on your TV. Embarrassing. Yeah, let's watch this. So here we go.
Tampa pitcher Jason Adams to the Tampa Bay Times. Hard decision, because ultimately we all said we want them to know that they are welcome and loved here. But when we put it on our bodies, I think a lot of guys decided that it's just a lifestyle that maybe, not that they look down on or anything or differently, it's just that maybe we don't want to encourage, we believe in Jesus, who's encouraged us to live a lifestyle that would abstain from that behavior. Sarah Spain, how does that all come off to you?
Pride is about inclusion, so you don't love them and you don't welcome them if you're not willing to wear the patch. And calling it a lifestyle reveals to me that you've done not even a modicum of research or understanding on this topic. It's what tends to happen when a privileged class isn't affected by things. This is not just about baseball. That religious exemption BS, which is used in sport and otherwise, also allows for people to be denied health care, jobs, apartments, children, prescriptions, all sorts of rights. And so we have to stop tiptoeing around it, because we're trying to protect people who are trying to be bigoted from asking for them to be exempt from it, when the very people that they are bigoted against are suffering the consequences.
When you say trying to be bigoted,
they're trying to use religious exemptions to affect the opportunities, services, available resources for people who are LGBTQ+.
and a patch on the jersey in this way?
In the case of sport, no. In the case of sport, though, they're double talking if they're saying you're welcome while also saying that we don't encourage or we disagree with it, especially when there are devout people of every single religion that also welcome and are open to people who are born gay.
David Dennis Jr.
Yeah. So if you don't want to wear a patch, showing the alphabet mafia, then you are bigoted. Yeah, these baseball players are there simply to play the game. But oh no, woke ESPN around the horn, you're bigoted. Man, good riddance to this show, man. I won't miss it. I'm pretty sure you guys won't miss it. So I'm going to leave right there, guys. That's just my thoughts on this. What do you guys think of this? Black and white sports fans, let us know what you think about all this in the comments. Make sure to subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.